Oh man, I'm so tired. I was up till about 5 a.m. So, what made me say this last night halfway through a stream? Probably going to be something along the lines of, What the f? Well, look, so we done our first Karazhan clear last night. We had a group, a mixed group. We had a few of us who obviously know exactly what we're doing, and we've done it like multiple times on servers we don't talk about, obviously. And then we had some who haven't done it ever, and we had some that have done it, but when it was original TBC back in the day. Now, did we have any issues? No, no, we had no issues. There was one boss which, you know, when you get that glimmer of hope, and you're like, do you know what? Blizzard might be making changes, as in, you know, tuning encounters or just throwing in different mechanics that we're not used to. Well, that happened, and I'm going to talk through all the bosses really quick. I don't want this to be particularly long because I need to try and get some sleep, and then obviously we've got another Karazhan raid group tonight, well, not tonight, this afternoon at about 4 p.m. GMT, and then we've got Grawl, obviously, this evening. So make sure you check me out over on twitch.tv/Scottejaye87. There's a link in the description below. Come over and get involved. Have a look. See what you think. Let me know how difficult you think it looks or doesn't look, I think is more to the point. Now, when I say about that glimmer of hope, we got to Curator, and every group that got to Curator either had problems or was just surprised. Because basically, if you know Curator on TBC, what it's meant to do is spawn a spark, you kill the spark, you just wait for the next spark, kill the spark, you know, rinse and repeat till the boss evocates and then you nuke him down. Well, the boss was spawning 3 sparks, which changed your positioning where you had to stand. But in typical Blizzard fashion, so many groups got stuck on it. We didn't, by the way. We had a couple of wipes, then we sorted our positioning out and we killed it without any issues, really. But in typical Blizzard fashion, they nerfed it so everybody could get past it. I mean, it was fun how it was, and when we got to it, I thought, wow, like this is great. You know, Ataman was absolutely face roll. Entry level gear, you know, you don't need pre-raid bis or anything like that. Ataman was a joke. Morrows, we was quite lucky. We had 3 priests in our group, so CCing 3 of them, nuking 1, nuking Morrows, then cleaning up afterwards. Again, an absolute joke. Then we had Maiden. Again, Maiden, even without timers. None of us had DBM that was working properly. Without timers, absolutely face roll. Like, no problems at all. The boss's health values are so low. Everything was literally, it was just melting. You know, like, there's no other word for it. They were just melting. And then we had the hardest of the opera events, which is great. You know, we got to the Wizard of Oz, so you actually had to have some coordination. Again, nothing to worry about, completely face roll. We had a Warlock and we had a Mage, so we had plenty of fire spells on Strawman. We had a Fear for Raw. We had a couple of tanks. It was easy, you know, like no problems at all. But then we got to Curator, where it was spawning 3 sparks instead of just 1. It was still spawning 1 occasionally, but then 3, then 1, then 3, and that made it spiced it up a bit. And I was hoping that they was like, right, the first tier boss, you know, that drops tier gear will make different, we'll just change it, you know. And I was hoping that was intentional, but clearly it wasn't intentional. But who knows? So that gave me hope, because I thought, right, from here on, maybe some of the bosses are going to be different. So I was raid leading and I was being a lot more cautious when we was doing the next bosses. And I was completely disappointed, because absolutely every boss was completely face roll. Literally every single one of them. We had a wipe on Netherspite. I expected a wipe on Netherspite. But let's talk about the others first. We got past Curator. We went straight to Aran, because we thought, well, in case they have changed anything or anything's overtuned or pre-nerf or anything like that, obviously we wanted to get the portal. So when you kill Aran, you can then teleport straight to Aran's library, which just means it saves a big long run back, basically, if we was to have wiped on Ilhoof. So we killed Aran. Interestingly, the ads can be killed. So like I said in the Karazhan guide, there's 2 strategies. It depends on whether the ads were killable or they wasn't. If you want to check my Karazhan guide out, I'll leave a link in the description. It's quite different, but I appreciate it might not be for everyone, but it does cover everything you need to know about Karazhan. Now, when we got to Aran, I already organised all the CC for the ads, so we didn't actually kill them, but they were killable. So, easiest way to do this is if you've got a Warlock, banish 1, fear 1, nuke the other 2 down, keep those 2 CC'd the whole time, and then back on the boss. We just CC'd everything and nuked the boss down because it just died that quickly. And we didn't even have many interrupts. We just had 1 dedicated interrupter, which was an Elemental Shaman, and that was it. But Aran, absolutely face roll. Then Ilhoof, again, just fell over. There's no point even nuking the big imp, because the boss's health values are just so small that just let the big imp just die to natural cleave and AoE, and then just keep burning the boss, getting people out of the chains. Again, absolute joke. Then we obviously made our way to Chess. I mean, there's nothing really to say about chess, is there? I mean, technically, you could say we wiped, but we didn't. It just bugged out and we couldn't get any loot from it. But I think the guys actually did it again after we'd cleared everything, and then it did drop loot. But for some reason, it bugged out. We reported it. But again, it's got the 12-second cooldown on the move ability, so it just slows the chess event down rather than if you're used to not having a cooldown on the move ability because you've played anywhere you shouldn't be playing, then obviously that's, you know, yeah, that's just expected. But yeah, as I say, yeah, it's just a bit slow, but absolutely face roll. We then went and done prints. We had no infernals dropped near the door at all, so we just stood in the doorway the entire time. We had people who didn't know what they was doing. I had the most clutch resist ever because the DBM that I had on, every time Enfeeble went out, it actually said that there was an infernal dropping on my location. So I panicked. I had Enfeeble, got Shadow Nova'd, and I had the biggest clutch resist ever, or I would have been dead. Not that it would have mattered, the boys would have still done it anyway. But there's no changes or anything like that to prints. Health values are low, absolutely face roll, just nothing to worry about whatsoever. Netherspite, when we got to Netherspite, I knew this was going to be the one where, for people who haven't done it for a long time or forgot how it works, it was going to be the challenging one. Turned out it wasn't. We had one wipe while people worked out what the portals were doing. We had a bit of a bug, which we reported, which was the green portal wasn't even showing. So we just looked where the red and the blue was, then we knew where the green was going to be. But a few little mistakes in the first wipe, and then obviously we just killed it on the second attempt. And then finally, Nightbane. Again, we did actually wipe on Nightbane, I forgot about that, but that was purely because someone tried kiting the ads away and didn't realise that you can't do that. But anyway, once I chastised them very, very much and said, look, don't do this again or I'm going to remove you from the group, and not just the group, the guild, because unfortunately he is in the guild on Classic. Oh, the pain. Once we sorted that minor problem out, Nightbane, again, was a complete joke. So overall, the raid is severely undertuned. It's all post-nerf, not pre-nerf. It was dropping badges of justice as well. That's not good. That's a catch-up mechanic. I'm hoping that changes. Now, I'm hoping that all they wanted to do was iron out any bugs in the encounters, and they do some raid tuning, but I don't think they will. I don't think we're going to get any tuning. I think we're going to basically have the encounters how we got them last night, which means an entry-level tier 4 raid, as you would expect, is really, really easy. Now, they're just my thoughts. I just wanted to let you know what happened in last night's raid. Don't miss tonight's. Get over to twitch.tv/Scottejaye87. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe. Ring that bell for notifications so you don't miss any future TBC content. And I'll see you on the next one.